本节目由赛睿冠名播出，胜利就是一切。
You know, Steel Series supported a lot of gaming tournaments and teams. So in this year's TI3, how many teams have you supported, sponsored, and who are those teams?
Yeah, sure. So here in the finals, we have 4 teams. Yep. So we have Team Fnatic, Team Navi, Team Zenith, and then of course Team IG.
Right. You know that one of the huge selling points of Steel Series is the co-development with professional players. So will Steel Series continue taking this approach in the future?
Absolutely. We think the pro gamers are probably the most demanding users, right? They're the ones who are going to be using the equipment all day. They have to transport it to big tournaments like this. So we really like building for the pro gamer because it forces us to make good quality, high performance products. Oh, definitely understanding what a hardcore user needs out of a product helps you make better products, right? So definitely something we want to continue to do and will continue to do as a company.
Steel Series has earned its reputation as a professional gaming gear manufacturer. What do you think are the main reasons that Steel Series has attained today's reputation, today's professional and premium images?
I think a couple of reasons. One, the organization and the people within the organization. We have a lot of very hardcore gamers within the organization, and so they push us every day. The employees are constantly coming to me if they think a product's not good enough and saying, hey, I would never have used this when I played before or whatever, right? Number 2, our pro teams and players, they definitely give us a ton of input during the development process. So one of the reasons you see our products come out with the success that they do is we spend a lot of time getting the input from teams like we were talking about earlier before we do that. And then lastly, the fans. I think, the consumers that buy the Steel Series products, we get lots of input from them, and it's good input. It's very helpful, and we try to listen to that and build their input into either updates to the products or the next versions of the products. So please bring in your input. We love to hear it.
Okay, thank you very much. And in recent years, there were a lot of new gaming gear companies enter into this market. So the competition is getting more and more intense. Anything that Steel Series is doing to maintain and further expand market shares and preserve its brand image?
Sure. I think, competition's good. It's healthy. It forces you to be better, right? So we're glad that others are coming in. We welcome the competition. Based on our growth, we think it's been helping us do better and better products. As we go forward, I think you will continue to see us taking much the same approach we talked about earlier, right? Continue to hire great people into the company, continue to partner with great partners, including, by the way, not only the teams, but also the software publishers. So people like Valve and Tencent and EA and Blizzard, right? They're also big partners that help us get better and do better stuff. And then, of course, again, the customers, really continuing to listen to them and get their feedback into what we're doing is going to help us stay in front, we believe.
Since the rising of the MOBA games in China, the number of esports players in China is booming. So, does Steel Series have a plan to further investment in the Chinese market to meet the demand of the rising market?
Oh, for sure. China is an extremely important market for us. It's been one of the fastest growing markets over the last 6 years. We expect it to continue to be rapidly growing. A lot of the ideas we come up with now actually originate from our team in China. So we actually are, very excited about continuing to expand our team in that country so that we can continue to get that input and reach out to a broader audience of gamers there. What we really are excited about China and both the opportunities just in terms of building esports and building the gaming community as a whole, but also getting new ideas for products, really being pushed in terms of figuring out what are the right products to do for the marketplace.
Among these points, which one do you think is the most focused area in the series we're working on?
I think that's going to be helped determined by the consumers and our partners, right? So we're going to continue to work across all the major categories of accessory equipment and hopefully push the edge on some of them. But ultimately, it's going to be the consumers and our partners that are going to help us decide which products are successful. We will, of course, continue to bring out products and test ideas, but then we'll need the feedback to see whether they're, what we think is great, they think is great.
That's really nice. A lot of gaming manufacturers, are launching the mechanical keyboard with backlight. So this new series have plans to launch the product with backlight to meet the demand.
So we think there are many different types of gamers out there, right? And up until now, as you probably know, we were one of the early guys in the mechanical keyboards for esports, right? Our first mechanical keyboard was launched, I think, back around 2006 time frame, right? So we've been in mechanical keyboards now for quite some time. We have seen that, clearly in esports it plays extremely important role. All of our pro teams, you'll see a lot of them using it. We also have seen that consumers now are adopting and requesting more. So I think it's fair to say that you can guess the kind of input we're getting from consumers. And what I told you earlier, consumer input's having a role on our product portfolio, then likely you'll see something coming along those lines. That being said, I would also encourage you to look at what we're doing with the Apex, which of course is one of the most advanced non-mechanical keyboards out there. It has 5 zones of lighting on it that actually it's not just lighting for coolness sake, although it does look really cool. It's also lighting that means something in terms of helping you use the keyboard better and faster. And you'll see even, I think, if you look around, that even some of our pros now are starting to adopt it. So even though it's not a mechanical keyboard, it's so fast and so sophisticated in what you can do with it that even we have now some of our professional players actually adopting that keyboard on their own. So I think if you look at the marketplace and know that consumers are having a big input on where we will take the portfolio, then I think, likely you might see something. But I have to say that for my PR person to talk about. So
now that SteelSeries now is well known as a high-end gaming manufacturer, does the SteelSeries ever consider about launching the market in China?
So I think the definition of things like mass market is sort of dependent on the person who's defining it, right? So one thing that you'll always see is true from SteelSeries is that at whatever price tier we release a product, we want it to be a high-performing, high-quality product with that price tier. That being said, then there are some parts of the marketplace, some price points of the marketplace that you probably will never see us enter, because if we don't feel like we can offer something meaningful in that price point, then we shouldn't be in there, right? That being said, everybody's becoming a gamer nowadays, right? I mean, the gaming segment is growing and growing, so I would actually argue that we are mass market already, right? Now the definition of what you may call mass market and what I call mass market may be different, but I think as more and more people are gaming and the great success we're seeing here at the internationals, I mean, the excitement, the number of people, what's been really exciting about me here is how mixed it is too. I mean, there's people from all over the world, right, that have come in to watch this thing, and I think that's just a sign of where the world is going, right? So yeah, I mean, gaming's becoming mass market, right, by its own, and hopefully, if we're lucky, I think you guys, if you saw the opening video and they were doing the profile of some of the IG players, right, and one of them said, hey, my dream is the day that esports is an Olympic sport, right? We agree with that, right? And when that happens, then I guess it's mass market, right? Yes, I'd like the Final Four teams to be all our teams. That would be the best, for sure. And at a minimum, I hope one of them wins. I mean, it's just such a great thing for the sport, and I mean, the prize money's huge, right? I'd like to be one of the people playing right now for this. So but my dream, oh my gosh, would be Final Four of our teams. That would be great. and I will watch most of the games. I have a few travels that I have to get in, but I'll get online after I land and check out what's going on. So it's fun to watch. It's a great esport game.
So none of them has been kicked out of the tournament. That's really cool. So yeah, good luck.
Thank you. Thanks, and we appreciate you guys, supporting esports and broadcasting, and for taking the time to let us talk to the audience in China. So thank you very much.